Hello and welcome. This is Pastor Deborah, and this is the introduction, the hello and the welcome from me to the King's International Spiritual Care University. I wanted to come to you in person so you could see me. I'm going to be the teacher throughout the university, and I'll be teaching on many different subjects and on many different levels. Hopefully you've read the introduction and you've read some of the previous articles. If not, that's okay. In the King's International Spiritual Care University, we are going to be discussing spiritual care, how to help people in a spiritual way from the Spirit to heal the forever person that's in the Spirit and to bring some freedom to it so that it can grow up and develop and become all that it is supposed to be to help the other parts of its system, of its soul, the hidden man of the heart, and the physical body. So this university is very unique. All the classes, as you've been reading, will be on YouTube. There's no class registration, only that you have a seeking heart to know things, to help people that are hurting or you can look at and see they need some help. That's all that's required. And there's no forms to fill out, cost you nothing. There's no price to pay when you take these classes. I'm going to be coming to you over YouTube in short videos teaching on 3 different levels. One, a very basic level of spiritual education about spiritual care. And then I'm going to go into the next level, the intermediate level. Then after that will be the advanced level. There'll be no test. I know on some universities and webinars and training, in the comment section there are questions, and you have to answer those questions and send them back to the teacher to get a certificate. In this class, there's no test on the questions that you will have to write down. Your test will come when you leave the webinar or the YouTube or the class, and you go out, and now you're faced with somebody that needs some healing, needs some help. Test time. And you will either pass, maybe make a good grade, or maybe you will fail. You will get it learning out in humanity and as you go. And at the same time, during the test, usually your teacher, it's not an open book test, are not talking to you. You will have to rely on, have you watched the YouTube videos enough? Have you read? Are you ready to take the test? They will come when you're least expecting it, 24 hours a day if necessary, when you might get caught off guard. And during the test, you will just be watched by the test takers to see if you have learned. If you pass, depending on the grade that you pass, you'll move on to another class, but you'll probably take the test again to improve your score. And the test takers are always watching. It's not a written test that you take and just sort of spit back to your teacher things we want to hear. In the King's International Spiritual Care University, You are dealing with people's lives. You are dealing with their hopes, their feelings, their biological bodies, their emotions, their personality. You are dealing with their spiritual conditions. It's very, very serious. And people can get hurt if you're not well educated, trained, tested, taking lots of tests. People can get hurt because you are not prepared. A lot of people think they are until the test comes. So your test will be out in humanity. And you will be told in the Spirit how well you did. Then come back, watch another video, learn something else, go take another test. How do you know if you are learning? When things are changing in a person's life and the desired goal that you are reaching happens. If that means just bringing hope and encouragement to somebody because you spoke a word that was needed right at that time, or you spoke words of love to somebody that needed to hear that, or you were somehow through your words or your actions a lifesaver to somebody who was trying to commit suicide. Or you could just stand with somebody and support them through their trials. And then as you move on in your knowledge and your education from me, when you get more into the intermediate classes, you'll begin working at a deeper level with long, long and deep issues that have been in a person's life. Then as you move into the advanced areas, and you've got the first two areas sort of under control, you've passed your test, you'll start learning about the advanced spiritual care. How do you care for a nation? How do you talk to kings and politicians about the spiritual care of their nation, their population, the people who elected them? How do you speak to leaders? How do you heal the land? How do you bring healing and hope to an entire country? How do you set the entire country free from things that when you look at it, they can't be right? How do you work with the earth so that it will produce its bountiful goodness to you? How do you help people who are sick and they need things? That's the advanced level. So there are no written tests. You do not have to register your name. When you seek this teaching out, will be written down in a book up in the libraries, in the university, in the kingdom of heaven. You will be enrolled up there, and they will be watching. You can't even become a pastor, an imam, a guru, a Catholic priest without education and training. And you also have to be supervised and mentored and discipled. And you'll have many, many questions. And it's just like watching a little child go from pre-K to kindergarten, through the grades, through the middle school, through the high school, through college, through more college, and eventually out, and they are a professional, helping people from every walk of life in their area of expertise. My expertise happens to be spiritual care. I had been, as if you have looked at some of the videos, a licensed mental health counselor. And I desired to help people fix problems. Maybe I'm a fixer, I'm not sure. And I did that. I got all the education required, 5 years of college, was under 2 years of supervision, took a state test, paid lots of money for it. Didn't pass it the first time, had to take it again. Had to pass some national credentialing. Had to have my sessions of working with people videotaped and recorded and sent to national people to listen to how I was talking, just to get a license to help people, to learn how to diagnose and treat some illnesses. A lot of work helping people. Well, I was on the right track, but not with the right source or from the right education. So I had to put all that down in about 1995. And I had to pick up different books, go through different training, different experiences to learn how to help people a different way, the spiritual care way. I had to sit in many classes, read many, many thousands of books, go through many volunteer experiences, volunteer to learn how to be a chaplain in a hospital, serve in the emergency room, spend the night in the hospital, be a part of a team. I had to have all my issues looked at to make sure that I was not going to transfer any issues of my own, that I was ready to help people, and I could stand the pressure. Volunteered in the jails, went to the prisons, went into the mental health centers, did groups, all volunteer work, while working on the prayer ministry, the deliverance ministry, the personal ministry, learning about intercession, learning about marriage counseling, being under pastors and chaplains for a long, long time, until I was released to go out, and I had to learn how to be directly right under the teacher. I had to take lots and lots of tests, failed many of them. My faith had to grow. Then I had to read more books because I didn't understand a lot. I had to ask a lot of questions, read a lot of books, kept reading, studying, watching a lot of historical bibliographies and ancient civilization histories on YouTube. Watched the History Channel. Learned about the ancient civilizations way back when they first got started and how spiritual care was a part of their life and how it fit in. And so from that, I knew I was always to be a teacher. But first I had to discover what I was to teach, and I had to practice it. So now I'm coming to you as the teacher and the shepherd of the King's International Spiritual Care University. And I wanted to bring this personal welcome to you before you get into the catalog and look at the classes. I hope to have all of the classes written soon. I'm working on multiple levels of creating and videotaping and audio recording. And so this is Pastor Deborah of Agape Love, Love is Here Ministries. And this is one of the many ministries of Agape Love, Love is Here. And I like to tell the story to some people, well, most people, where the name Agape Love, Love is Here came from. Many years ago, probably back in 1998, I met a young man through a lady, a young girl rather, and they both grew up in multi-generational Satanism. They were witches, high priest, very powerful family, a lot of power. And this young man and young girl, who was his daughter, had been so severely, beyond our imagination, abused in every sort of way, every emotional way, every spiritual way, every physical way. And when I came in and knew that, and I just loved them, no matter what, the love started touching them. They were afraid of it. They could see it, feel it, hear it, but they had been hurt by love of the wrong kind. They were afraid to let it into their hearts or even touch it. They could see it. They could feel it. They knew it was around them. And it was starting to cause a lot of earthquakes and problems over on that dark side. But they stayed with it, this young man. And he eventually became my spiritual son. and actually stayed over there sort of as an undercover agent and started helping people to find this love. But this love was so frightening for them, and he knew that it would take a while. They would have to learn that that love was there, that that love could touch them, that that love could heal them. And it was genuine because they had tested it, and it was the real thing. And so he wrote a poem that became a song about agape love. Love is here, and how it had come into their world, and it was trying to touch them and speak to them and love on them, no matter what they did to me. And that they would have to learn that it was there, wasn't going away, and it was there, and it would heal them. So that's how the title of this ministry, Agape Love, Love is Here, came about. Now that gentleman, he has gone on to heaven, and he is quite at rest. So enjoy the King's International Spiritual Care University, a ministry of agape love. Love is here. And I will bring all my learning that I had to learn to help people at a deep level, spiritually, but it can also help people emotionally and physically. And you will be tested and tried throughout the whole thing. I won't give you the test, but you'll get them. And you either pass or fail. You'll either stick with the classes. Don't try to jump around. You can look, but you won't have the foundation that you need. A lot of things have to grow and develop in you before you pass the test. But there will be many eyes in the spiritual world watching you as you watch the video. And all you need is a seeking heart to help people. And it might be rough. Sometimes it's hard to come to school. You get sleepy. There's a lot of distractions. But don't worry, your certificate will be when somebody says to you, thank you. And they go, oh my God, this stuff works. It's real. I can't thank you enough. And you have helped another human being to believe there's hope. There's hope in love, that love has power, that love, that agape love, that unconditional love has come into their spiritual world and can bring healing, can bring freedom, can bring deliverance. It can bring a love they have never touched before. And it can set them free from so many things that they may know about and other things they don't know about. And it will learn, and they will learn, and your certificate will be thank you, or a smile, or a tears. And you may never see the person again. You may have one shot at it. I do a lot of this on LinkedIn, on emails. You can do it in just long distance. You don't have to be there with the person. And sometimes you get one shot. I just had a young lady come to me and talk to me yesterday. She's had a massive stroke. And her physical body is sort of dead. But her spirit is quite alive, asking me questions if she could go. Was the body ever going to be restored in her life, that she knew it with her family, ever restored again? And I said, no. The body was pretty much dead. It had a massive stroke. But she had a choice. And so she was given permission to go and check out the afterlife, eternity, before she decided what to do. Some people get that, some people don't. Sometimes your helping people will come in right at the moment of death. You'll be working with children, infants, mothers, pregnant mothers, men, women, teenagers, every age, everywhere, all over the world. So I wanted to introduce myself, Pastor Deborah. Let you see me. I'm going to be the shepherd of the ministry, the school, the university. I will not give you any certificates. There's no graduation ceremonies. That'll be done by somebody else, by the people you serve. They will give you the certificate. Maybe a wink, maybe a tear, maybe just a thank you. Maybe it just be a look back and a head nod. And that's all you get. Maybe you get nothing. But they are the ones, not me, that will give you your certificate of completion. You will approve that you have studied, that you have learned, you've passed your test, and they will come. They are horrific. They'll come when you least expect it. It'll come against you, your family, everything you know. It won't be pretty. And you'll pass or fail. Because in helping people in a spiritual care way, you're going beyond the senses, beyond the medical profession. You're going into that realm that they don't quite believe in. You're going to start in there, the unseen realm of the spiritual. You're going to work your way out. They're working their way in through the physical body, through the emotions and the soul. You're going to start in the spiritual and work your way out. So I wanted to say hello and welcome. I'll get this up if I can today. I've got a lot to do. And so you will be introduced to me, so when you see me, and of course you can always look at all the other webcams and post on the website of www.agapeloveishere.org. You can email me, Pastor Deborah, at agapeloveishere.org. You can ask me questions. I'm going to be giving you a list of resources, books I've read, how I did it, and you'll judge to see if what I'm teaching is, ask the higher power if what I'm saying is true. Don't believe me. Go read books, study history, ask a lot of people a lot of questions, and decide for yourself if this is something you want to study and if you want to help people in a very unique way where there's not a lot of accolades, not a lot of thank yous, but it is helping people. It is helping people to be free and delivered and to find a love, find hope and encouragement that they have not been able to find. So, Pastor Deborah says, welcome to school. Make sure you bring your pencils, your tablets, your notebooks. And I look forward to teaching you and you learning. You can actually tell people you are now a student, a disciple of the King's International Spiritual Care University of Agape Love, Love is Here Ministries. Look forward to seeing you in class and growing and learning so you can step out onto the international stage, the global sea of humanity, or just right in your local community, or just right in your family, and help people who need help. Love always and forever, Pastor